Genesis 1:16, the second part. There are three interesting forms to discuss in this passage, so it's enough to merit a second video on Genesis 1:16. The first has to do with the form here of the number 2. If you go to Biblical Aramaic for Biblical Interpreters, page 45, you see the table of the numbers that are and are not attested in Biblical Aramaic, and interestingly, the number 2 in the masculine construct is in the Bible, but this absolute form is not. So it's nice to run across it here in Targum Onkelos terrain. So continuing on, the next word to discuss is this one. Now we see behind it resh beit, which we're familiar with even from Hebrew as being the masculine singular adjective great. So why does it look like there's this reduplication of resh beit? So it's resh beit, resh beit. You can go to Takamitsu Muraoka's article on 3 grammatical issues in Biblical Aramaic, where he actually notes this for both the masculine plural and the feminine plural. In both cases, there's resh beit, resh beit. And then finally, it may have caught your eye when we discussed the Pa'al infinitive construct of Shin Lamed Tet, how this form could cause some confusion. So let's look up here in the Biblical Hebrew, where we have a Lamed prefix, and then this is actually, with the 2 mems in the front, from the mem Shin Lamed verbal root. It's an adjective, and this is showing up in a construct. So it's for the ruling of the day, and likewise for the ruling of the night later on. Now here we're having an infinitive construct instead of an adjective to express a similar idea. But the place we could get caught up here is the fact that we have mem shin lamed, and this looks like mem shin lamed in the Aramaic. But we remember this is a pa'al infinitive construct. So the mem here is actually part of the pa'al infinitive construct form, not part of the verbal root. So that's why we have shin lamed tet as the verbal root. Now this verbal root had appeared 7 times in Biblical Aramaic in Daniel, and there is actually a Biblical Hebrew Shin Lamed Tet that's a cognate, although the normal verbal root we see for the idea of ruling is this one of the Mem Shin Lamed. So a lot of interesting forms here, and we're able to do some interesting comparisons between Hebrew and Aramaic language use.